If you opened this video, welcome. Welcome, my chosen person. And when I say chosen, I don't mean you're better than anyone else. I don't mean anything mystical or dramatic. I mean something simple and real. Right now, your mind is telling you to run, to scroll, to distract yourself, to pretend you're fine, and you didn't. You chose to stay. Even if you don't know why, even if you feel numb, even if you feel exhausted, that matters. So please, stop. Don't leave. You don't have to understand every word. You don't have to feel calm. You don't have to be strong. You can be tired. You can be messy. You can be overwhelmed. Just let my voice sit next to you. Because sometimes, the only thing a person needs is to hear someone say, "I'm here, and you're not alone." And if you're watching this at night, especially at night, I want you to know something. Nighttime is honest. In the daytime, we perform. We answer messages. We act normal. We push through. But at night, the mask gets heavy. Your thoughts get louder. Your chest gets tighter. Your stomach feels strange. Your mind starts replaying everything. And that voice shows up. What am I doing with my life? Why am I like this? Why can't I fix myself? What if this never gets better? My chosen person, those thoughts don't mean you're weak. They mean you've been carrying too much for too long. So stay with me, just for a little while. How do you feel today? Not the version you show people, not the "I'm fine" version, the real one. Because there's a kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. You can sleep 8 hours and still wake up heavy. Still wake up like you ran a marathon in your mind. Like your body rested, but your brain never stopped moving. Like a TV left on in the background. Always noise, always tension, always something waiting. And this kind of tired isn't just tired, it's mental exhaustion. It's the quiet collapse no one sees. From the outside, you look okay. You might smile, you might respond, you might go to work, you might do what you're supposed to do, but inside, there's a stone in your chest. And then you blame yourself. Why am I like this? Why can't I pull myself together? Why does everyone else handle life better than me? Listen to me. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not failing. You are overloaded. And overload doesn't always come from one big disaster. Sometimes it comes from small pressure. Every day, a little fear, a little uncertainty, a little loneliness, a little money stress, a little disappointment, a little pretending, until your system can't hold it anymore. My chosen person, if you feel like you're falling apart, you might actually be reaching the point where you can finally stop pretending. And that can be the beginning of healing. So don't leave. Now I'm going to talk about something real, something people avoid, something that makes anxiety feel constant. Money. Because some people talk about anxiety like it happens in a vacuum, like there's no reason you feel pressure. But sometimes your anxiety has a name. Bills, debt, rent, family needs, unexpected expenses, a paycheck that doesn't stretch, a future that feels expensive. Money stress isn't only not having enough. Sometimes money stress is this: what if it's not enough? What if something happens? What if I can't recover from this? What if I disappoint my family? What if I end up stuck? And money stress does something brutal. It doesn't just hurt your wallet, it hurts your confidence. Because when money is tight, you start questioning your value. You start thinking you're behind. You start thinking you're not capable. You start thinking you're failing at life. My chosen person, if that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. Money pressure is not a moral failure. Being stressed about money doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you didn't try. It doesn't mean you don't deserve peace. Sometimes people work harder than ever, and life still hits them. Sometimes people do everything right, and the world is still heavy. And sometimes you're just exhausted. If you're carrying money stress right now, you're carrying a constant alarm in your body, because your nervous system hears money as survival. And when the nervous system is in survival mode, it doesn't care about motivation. It doesn't care about inspiration. It cares about one thing: safety. That's why it's hard to relax. That's why it's hard to focus. That's why it's hard to sleep. That's why it's hard to feel okay, even on a quiet day. So if you've been judging yourself, stop. You're not failing. You're under pressure. And pressure changes people, but it can also ease. Stay with me. Let's talk about loneliness. Not the obvious loneliness. Not just, I'm alone. I mean that kind of loneliness that's worse. The kind where you have people, but you still feel alone. You're surrounded, but you feel unseen. You talk, but you don't feel understood. You're with family, but you can't be honest. You have friends, but you don't feel safe enough to say, I'm not okay. Maybe you lost someone. Maybe you lost a relationship. Maybe you lost yourself somewhere while trying to survive. And now you're sitting with a silence that feels too big. My chosen person. Loneliness doesn't always mean no one loves you. Sometimes loneliness means no one really knows you. Sometimes loneliness means you've been holding your real self back for too long because you learned that being real was dangerous, that being emotional was too much, that being honest was weak, that needing help was shameful. So you became strong, but strong for too long turns into isolated, and isolated for too long turns into anxious. Because the nervous system regulates best when it feels connected. That's why loneliness makes anxiety louder. An anxious brain asks, who will catch me if I fall? And if the answer feels like no one, the brain never relaxes. So if your anxiety feels constant, I want you to consider something gently. Maybe it's not just your thoughts. Maybe it's your nervous system begging for safety. And safety can come from connection. Even connection like this. A voice, a moment, a feeling that someone understands. So don't go. Most people think anxiety is a personality trait. I'm just anxious. I'm just like this. But anxiety is often not who you are. It's what your system learned. If your life has been uncertain, if you've been under pressure, if you've been alone with your thoughts, if you've been carrying money stress, if you've been carrying emotional weight, your nervous system adapts. It learns one rule: stay ready. So even when life looks calm, your body doesn't believe it. Your body stays tight. Your breathing stays shallow. Your heart rate stays slightly elevated. Your muscles stay braced. Then, your mind joins the loop. The mind scans for danger. The mind searches for reasons. The mind tries to control outcomes. And that becomes overthinking. What if? What if? What if? My chosen person, Overthinking isn't stupidity, it's protection. It's your brain trying to prevent pain. But here's the trap. The more you think, the more your body stays in survival. Because thinking doesn't signal safety. Safety is signaled through the body, through slowing down, through softness, through breath, through rest, through connection. That's why just think positive doesn't work. Positive thoughts don't calm a nervous system that feels unsafe. So today, we're doing something different. We're not forcing positivity. We're building safety, slowly, gently. Stay with me. Your nervous system has survival modes. Fight, flight, freeze. Fight looks like irritability, anger, snapping, tension, impatience, feeling like everything is a threat. Flight looks like constant scrolling, constant planning, constant doing, inability to sit still, always staying busy, needing noise. Freeze looks like numbness, no motivation, I can't move, staying in bed, brain fog, feeling disconnected. Freeze is the one people misunderstand. Freeze is not laziness. Freeze is overload. It's your system saying, I can't carry more. So if you've been judging yourself, if you've been calling yourself lazy, if you've been feeling ashamed, stop. My chosen person, you're not lazy, you're tired. And tired people don't need shame. They need care. They need a safe place to rest. So let this be that place. Let's talk about that loop. The loop that goes like this. You feel a sensation in your body. Tension, chest tightness, a weird feeling in your stomach. Then your brain says, something is wrong. Then you search for an answer. What did I do? What if I mess up? What if I lose everything? What if I fail? What if people leave? What if I'm never okay? Then the body tightens more, because now the brain confirmed danger. Then you feel worse, so you think more, and the loop tightens. This is how anxiety steals your day. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers all day, and by the end, you feel drained. My chosen person, what if I told you something simple? You don't have to solve every thought. You don't have to win every mental argument. Some thoughts don't need answers. Some thoughts just need space to pass. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the one noticing them. So when the loop starts, we don't fight it. We interrupt it gently. We're going to do something small, not perfect, just small. If you're sitting, feel the surface under you. If you're lying down, feel the weight of your body. Now notice your jaw. Is it tight? Let it soften just 1%. Notice your shoulders. Are they lifted? Let them drop just a little. Now take one slow breath in and a slower breath out. Not to fix anything, just to signal, I'm here, and right now, I'm safe enough. That phrase, safe enough, is powerful, because anxiety often demands perfect safety. But we don't need perfect, we need enough. My chosen person, if all you can do today is give your nervous system 10 seconds of safety, that still counts. Now, let's talk about something that quietly destroys peace. Comparison. You scroll. You see people traveling, buying things, getting engaged, starting businesses, looking happy, looking confident, and you start thinking, they're ahead. I'm behind. I'm late. I wasted time. I'm not enough. My chosen person, social media, shows highlights. It doesn't show the nervous breakdowns, It doesn't show the debt. It doesn't show the loneliness. It doesn't show the fear. You are comparing your real life to someone's edited life. And that will always hurt, because your brain will say, why not me? But your timeline is your timeline. There is no universal schedule. You are not behind. You are alive. And if you're still here, still trying, still listening, you're not failing. You're surviving. And survival is not shameful. Anxiety doesn't just make you afraid, it makes you doubt yourself. You start second-guessing every decision. Was that stupid? Did I say the wrong thing? Do they hate me? Am I embarrassing? Am I capable? Confidence disappears quietly. Not because you lost your value, but because you lost your sense of safety. Confidence isn't loud. Real confidence is calm. It's the quiet feeling of, even if it's uncomfortable, I can handle it. And my chosen person, you can build that. Not by forcing confidence, not by pretending, by proving to yourself gently that you can stay with discomfort without abandoning yourself. That's why I keep saying, don't leave, because every time you stay, you're building that quiet confidence. Sometimes anxiety is constant because you don't have boundaries. You say yes when you mean no. You answer when you're exhausted. You perform when you need rest. And your nervous system learns, I don't get to rest. My chosen person. A boundary is not aggression. A boundary is self-respect. A boundary is your nervous system saying, I matter too. Even one small boundary this week can reduce your anxiety. Like, I'm not available tonight. I need time. I can't do that. I'll get back to you later. You don't need to explain. You don't need to justify, because you don't owe your exhaustion to anyone. Let's do a 1-minute practice. Choose one memory, a small memory, a moment where you felt even slightly safe. It could be simple, a quiet morning, a warm drink, a car ride, a place you once stood and felt a little lighter. Now imagine it, not perfectly, just gently. As you picture it, notice your body. Does your chest soften even 1%? That's your nervous system learning. Safety is not a theory. Safety is a feeling, and feelings can be trained. My chosen person, you don't have to fix your whole life today. You don't have to figure out money, career, relationships, purpose all at once. Your brain wants a complete plan because it thinks a plan equals safety. But real healing happens in smaller steps. Today, the step might just be not abandoning yourself. If all you do today is take a shower, eat something, answer one message, and come back to this video, that is not failure. That is rebuilding. If you're feeling so overwhelmed that you're thinking about hurting yourself, please don't stay alone with that. Reach out to someone you trust, or contact emergency help in your country right now. You deserve support that's real and immediate. This video can help you breathe, but you don't have to carry this by yourself. If you're still here, thank you for staying. Most people leave early, but you stayed, and that tells me something about you. You're tired, but you're still here. You're overwhelmed, but you're still here. You may feel lonely, but you're still here. That means there's a part of you that refuses to disappear. My chosen person, promise yourself something. Not a big promise, a small one. I won't abandon myself again. You don't need perfect days. You don't need perfect healing. You just need to keep returning. Return to yourself. Return to calm. Return to the part of you that still wants to live. And if you need a place to come back to, this is it. I'm here, and you're not alone. If this feeling feels familiar, the full video is on the channel. Follow to continue.